This is the story that Crown Casino does not want you to see. And that's because of one of the largest leaks ever of corporate data to Australian media. 60 Minutes, The Age and the Sydney Morning Herald have obtained tens of thousands of Crown's internal files and documents from sources close to Crown's Melbourne headquarters. It's a jackpot of highly sensitive and damaging information that not only reveals the secret inner workings of Australia's biggest casino, but also its ties to Chinese crime bosses and Communist Party figures.
These people are well funded and some of them are quite dangerous.
You'd fear for your life.
I'm not suicidal at this stage.
It involves the most powerful drug syndicate in the world. Bundles of cash coming out of a plastic bag.
I look at this and there are neon lights flashing.
Money laundering and sex trafficking rings.
You know that these women were being held there against their will.
But most disturbing of all, our investigation proves how Crown's hunger for profits endangered its own people and exposed Australia's national security to grave risks.
Well, who was coming on these flights? My immediate reaction was there was an enhanced risk.
Crown's only concern was getting caught.
Coming up.
The high-stakes discovery, what our police found on a private jet. The fact that the President's cousin and Crown's junket, Mr. Chinatown, were on a private jet is politically explosive. And need an Aussie visa? Just call Crown.
How many people did Crown help get visas to come to Australia?
Two or 300.
That's next on 60 Minutes.
On a winter's day in 2016, a private jet idles on the runway at Coolangatta Airport. Australian Federal Police officers think the plane might be smuggling dirty cash. They've received a security alert that one of the plane's passengers is a suspected money launderer. His name is Tom Zhao, but he's better known as Mr. Chinatown. The multi-millionaire is Crown Casino royalty. He's been their top junket operator and the man Crown relied on to fly in some of China's wealthiest people to its high-roller rooms in Australia. Officers find little cash during their search, but what they do uncover is so disturbing, it's still being scrutinised by Australia's security agencies 3 years on.
So these are the flight records from the flight in question.
We can reveal that Crown Casino asked a trusted security company run by ex-cops to work for Chinatown. This arrangement led to a serving Victorian police officer who was suspended at the time to be on board that day as Mr. Chinatown's private security. The serving cop's name is Greg Leather, and we can see him in this photo providing shooting lessons at Mr. Chinatown's hunting property in country Victoria.
To me, it raises a very strong flag.
Former Border Force Chief Roman Quadrilig says law enforcement agents should not be working for Crown's high-roller junket agents.
Working security for a junket operator which is transporting people who've been flagged for money laundering, I don't think you can get a higher red flag than that.
But the red flags keep coming. Also on board the private jet that day was a passenger of intense interest to Australia's national security agency, ASIO. He's a man with extraordinary connections to China's political and business elite. Someone who's known as a Communist Party princeling. His name is Ming Chai, and he is the cousin of none other than the President of China, Xi Jinping.
He's a princeling, he'd be well connected, and he has a large, significant business interests.
As a princeling, as the cousin of Xi Jinping, what sort of connections would Ming Chai have had to elite business circles, elite political circles, elite state security circles in China?
He'd have friends in the military, friends in security services, friends in business, because these are the connections that are necessary to profit in China.
China expert Alex Josky says Ming Chai's blood ties to the president place him among the country's most powerful elite. And Crown's internal files, obtained by us, reveal even more. Ming Chai is a VVIP customer of the casino, a very, very important high roller who drops millions of dollars on its tables every year. He's also a business partner of Crown's junket operators, Mr. Chinatown and brothel boss Simon Pan. He has an Australian passport and lists his business address at this mansion right here in Melbourne.
How could Xi Jinping, the most powerful politician on the planet, how could his cousin be living in Melbourne with an Australian passport and no one in Australia know it?
It's incredible. I think it just shows how much more we have to learn about China and the way the Chinese Communist Party really operates.